Nearly everything I know about love, I've learnt in my long-term friendships with women.
Hey, oh my God, I should be in the middle. This background looks different. I'm at my mom's house and I'm in the process of trying to find a new place. So I'm sorry if it looks so different, but I wanted to record a little video essay today because I was reading Substack this morning and I felt inspired. So I was like, I should do this. And it's got to be quick because I got somewhere to be. But welcome to my channel. Today, I am going to be discussing the topic of love and female friendships. So join me, come along to this journey that my brain went through this morning. Thank you. Okay, I started this year being really sad at the fact that I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend, you guys. Where is he? He's nowhere to be found. Nothing in sight like that. Um, and it felt like I was super behind with things. My friends all have boyfriends. They all are doing stuff, and even if they don't have a boyfriend, they kind of have men they're talking to. But I didn't. Like my childhood friends had boyfriends. My friends from Korea had boyfriends. My friends from college had boyfriends, situationships, all that stuff. But I was like seemingly sitting in my room listening to a short and sweet album, reading a book, and that might sound very pick me. Oh my God. Did I make a. Oh my God, I talked about pick me's in the last video I say. Sorry. Sorry to bring that up again, but it might sound a little pick me ish. I'm not trying to be. I genuinely was just sitting in my room, candles lit, listening to short and sweet and reading books. And I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, I couldn't help but think, what's wrong with me? Why is everybody experiencing stuff and I'm not getting that experience? And as a girl that loves romance, I mean, I love rom-coms. I love YA novels where they banter back and forth and then they're like, "Oh my God, why am I feeling this hate for this person?" No, it's really because I love them. I love shows where you have to question will they, won't they the entire time. I yearn for that. I love that so much. I love romance. And as someone that never gets to experience it, but I get to see it in the air with all my friends, it's really something that it felt weird. Like I don't have this. I don't have any of that. And it's nice to see my friends experience that, but it's like when will I? Like the happiness and the flick in my friend's eyes when she talks about her boyfriend and then like going on vacation to a resort and me and my one guy friend like us going from mall to mall to find a little matching shirt for him and his boyfriend for Halloween. Like that is cute. I want my life to be like that, but it's not. And it kind of sucks when you're like, "Oh, but, like, what's wrong with me? What's happening?" Um, and it's not an unnatural I'm saying this because it's not an unnatural thing to feel. I feel like a lot of girls my age, maybe even older than me, feel like, "What's happening? Why am I so behind?" But it's not unnatural. It's normal, and I think as much as, like, social media and everything grows, it's becoming way more normal with time. So that pivots me into I met up with my childhood friends a few weeks ago. The plan was to go to my friend's pool. We're gonna play mermaids, just talk about life. And the conversation kind of just drifted into boyfriends and like what's going on with their boyfriends, where their relationships are, etc. For hours. We were kicking around in the pool and they were talking about their boyfriends. And at one point, my friend Nathaniel, shout out to Nathaniel was like, "So when are we going to be playing mermaids?" Because me and Nathaniel don't really got nothing going on. So he was like, "When are we going to be playing mermaids?" I agree. I agree with the sentiment. I want to play mermaids. I came here to play mermaids. But we're talking about your boyfriend. Um, and that's the main topic that we'll be getting into today is this everybody's falling in love but I'm falling behind. Y'all know that TikTok sound? Everybody's falling in love and I'm falling behind. A central topic of conversation within a lot of my friend groups are men and like their boyfriends, their situationships, everything. And it made me think of the book Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Addleton. There's a line in the book that I think about frequently, like the more I meet up with my friends, specifically my childhood friends. And I'm gonna read it out for y'all. I'm gonna read it out. To talk about nothing will change. I've heard it said to me repeatedly by women I love during my 20s. When they move in with their boyfriends, get engaged, move abroad, get married, get pregnant. Nothing will change. It drives me bananas. Everything will change. Everything will change. The love we have for each other stays the same, but the format, the tone, the regularity, and the intimacy of our friendship will change forever. People question that kind of change that women have in their 20s and their 30s, where your life kind of becomes about a boyfriend and the boyfriends we have and our partners. If you don't like men, our partners, and we kind of become that partner. Like we're the partner as opposed to people with partners, and it's hard because your whole life becomes consumed with just love. And I saw a Substack that I read this morning where she had spoken about like her friends constantly talking about her boyfriends, and she brought into the question is this male centeredness? Are we too male centered where we can't even hang out with each other without talking about men? I'm gonna let you know, me and my friends will never be able to pass the Bechdel test. Throw that out the window. We're not passing that one singular bit. But it's an interesting question that she had brought up. So help me get into this and unpack female friendship, please, or just friendship in general. Okay, I think it's really natural to get caught up in your. Ugh. I think it's really natural to get caught up in a relationship. I don't think it's a, oh, one gender does this better than the other. Like, I don't think, oh, women are so male censored. I think that's where the substack had lost me. This idea that women become so all consumed with men and their relationships with men. When I think that a lot of the time, people just become consumed with their partners. Um, and a lot of their topics with their friends become about their partners, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm gonna share a story about with my friend, right? My friend has been in a relationship with her boyfriend, I believe going on a year almost. And I thought, hey, this is a really great relationship. Me and her don't really speak as frequently as we used to. And I thought, wow, she likes this man. I remember seeing them in person together and being like, I don't think she likes this man all that much because I've known her my whole life, and it wasn't like she had that same look in her eyes around him that she usually did when she had boyfriends. And she got one thing about my girlie, she keeps the boyfriend. She keeps the boyfriend lined up. That she don't play like that. Um and so I was like, what's going on? But then at said pool party, right? For hours, she explained to us the issues she was having with this man and like why she didn't want to be in a relationship with him anymore. And it's crazy because sometimes you go into that conversation thinking this relationship is perfect and da da da, and then I leave it and your boyfriend's at the top of my hit list. Like I don't like your boyfriend anymore, and I don't want him around. You know, I think that area of outlet for women has always been a core center of like friendships, not just with boyfriends, but I have friends that are part of the queer community, and I listen to them about their partners and their issues that they have going on. I think that is a central theme. To make it about male centeredness kind of takes away from the being able to relate with your friends and just share that core community. But I do think Dolly Addleton had a point when she said everything will change, because at one point you kind of become plus your partner, like a plus one to your partner. Someone has never experienced love. I've experienced heartbreak, but I've never experienced love. I don't know what it's like to become someone's everyday. And I wouldn't be able to relate to the feeling of, oh, I'm doing this, I'm meeting his family, I'm going to their stuff, I'm going here with him. I would be lying if I said I would be able to relate to that. Lying if I said it was ridiculous that people did this. I can understand where people are coming from when they become their partners every day and it becomes such a big part of their life. That's why they want to talk about it, and I understand that completely. I think about that line in I think about the one chapter in everything I know about love a lot, where she says everything will change, and she speaks about becoming kind of your partner's plus one. Like you're going to his job, you're meeting his family, you're doing everything with him, you're basically an addition to him. I think about that a lot because I remember reading that when I turned 20, and I was like, this is not me and my friends. This would never be me and my friends. And then it became me and my friends. And I was like, this is not me and my friends. This will never be me and my friends. We're super close. We're still super close. And then it became me and my friends where we started hanging out less and less. And then it was, oh, I can't. I'm going to a dinner party with my boyfriend. Oh, I can't. Me and my boyfriend's parents are doing this. Seeing them kind of become that extension is interesting, but I think it is something that goes on in your 20s. You have a partner, you care about your partner. You want to experience the world with your partner. And I think there's this feeling of like loss a lot of the time for people when they're not in that similar situation where it's like, dang, but like we're losing our time together and it's what about us? I really can't speak to the feeling of being that person to be like, "Oh, I can't today. I'm going to be with my boyfriend and his family," or "I can't today. My boyfriend has a work thing." And I can't speak to that, but I can speak to the feeling of feeling stuck when it comes to those things because when you don't have it, you feel a lot like, "Dang, but like what about me?" And I'm not going to my boyfriend's family's house. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't know what any of that feels like. And it's this feeling of feeling so stuck in like, where do I go on in life? Your 20s is hard. Oh my God. I know a lot of people say this, but please, your 20s is hard. I'm so sick and tired of it already. I just want to find my way. And when you think of like romance and romantic connection, you're like, when? When is it going to happen? How is this going to pivot its way into my life? What is going on? And I think when you think about your friendships and kind of navigating your friendships with romance in your 20s, it becomes even harder because you have to make some sacrifices of your time and decide whether or not you want to spend that with your partner, whether or not you want to spend that with your friends and have that balance. Some people choose, hey, I just want to be my partner. And that's valid. Do you, I guess? And some people are like, I want to spend time with my friends. I want to make time for my friends. I've seen it on all kinds of sides of the spectrum and it's interesting. I think about people and their partners and their partners are there every day. They're their everything. And it's if I stop giving my all to them, what does that become? What does that look like? What does our time look like apart from each other? And I think that's a really interesting thing to touch base on. You just kind of develop a new identity and it switches, which is normal. You're growing up, you're navigating life. And I think it gets harder when you make this person about you and then it's like, damn, but how do I navigate those people outside of this person now because my life has changed with them in it, which ultimately it does when you have a partner. So I can understand fully why one would want to speak about their partner in their friendships, but it's also, are we losing sight of our friendships with our partners being involved? We all know the famous TikTok line, everything I know about love I learned in my long-term friendships with women. This ever so infamous quote I relate to highly because I have learned everything I know about love in my long-term friendships with women. I was talking to a guy friend and he was talking about wanting to make more friends and everything like that. And I was like, I don't kn and he was talking about love, like romantic love and how he's experienced that, and I was like, "I cannot relate to that. I'm so sorry, sir. I can't relate to that." But then I was like, I can relate to, however, that feeling of love because I felt it, I've lost it in friendships, I've maintained it in friendships, everything in between. I had mentioned like me and my friend aren't going through the best time right now and we might be going to Chili's to see each other and everything and to just speak about things and he was like, "That's really nice." And I think those nights of me being like a mother and tucking my friends in because they're too drunk, or those nights where I'm crying and my friends are comforting me, and all these things I've built up in friendships to grow up and to kind of be pulled away from that because of work, because of relationships. And then you get together with your friends and they're like, let me tell you for 3 hours why my boyfriend freaking sucks. You're like, oh my God, can we talk about something else? But also, that's why I really didn't like the Substack because my friends tell me this and I can understand that like this is a person you see every day. This is a person that you really like. If you want to vent, vent because that's what I'm a friend for. I'm a friend so that I could listen to you. I'm a friend so that I could be there for you. I don't have to like the guy. I don't have to care about the man. As long as I'm there and by your side, that should be the thing that matters in this friendship. And so the person on the Substack being like, why is my friend talking about her boyfriend? And I don't know, why are we? I was like, girl, maybe they just want to talk about their boyfriends because they see you as a good friend that they can rely on. I think we have to come to this like navigation of love, of friendship, in relationships, and in your 20s, especially. Your 20s is a pretty hard time. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Um, and I wanted to get on here and speak about that a little and speak about those things that I've been going through and thinking when it comes to love and to friendship. And hopefully, I articulated it well. If I have anything else to say, editing Sarah will add it. Because, of course, how I wrote it in my little script came off way more informal. I miss my friends. I miss friendship. Work has been ever so consuming. I miss all of it. And I just want to mean just but I just wanted to talk about that because female friendship has always been such an essential thing to me, and I don't think that like it's fair to make it seem like it's so male centered when people talk about their partners. But I also do think your life becomes about your partner, and to bring that up was like something I really wanted to get off my chest. So, if you enjoyed this, I do have a 10 things I hate about you video. I'll kind of like put it right here. I'll I'll put it right here. And then I have a video where I went to the Costa Nuestra tour in Puerto Rico and I did a whole vlog. And that's actually a really good vlog. I edited it. I took my time and I spent a lot of time on this. And it doesn't have like please go watch it. Please go watch it. And if you have any ideas of what I should talk about next, please drop it. I was thinking of making a Love Island video, but like Love Island's already done and I feel like I'm done talking about Love Island. But I haven't talked about it on here yet. So I can still talk about it. But I just feel done talking about it. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll get there. Let me know if I should still do the Love Island thing because I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on each individual person, on everything. So let me know. Okay. Bye.